For 3.5 years, I made 627 YouTube videos without AI. No shortcuts, no automation, just raw manual work. That channel went from 200,000 subscribers to over 1 million. And I wasn't just watching from the sidelines. I was the guy behind Neil Patel's channel, running everything behind the scenes. And here's the thing, I was in charge of everything: ideation, scripts, thumbnails, SEO, everything but being on camera and editing. So, what did I learn from doing this the hard way? Things I wish I knew back then, and things that could save you years if you're just starting. Because let's be real, when you're starting out, growth feels invisible. You grind for months and still wonder, why am I not getting traction? Some creators wait a year and a half just to break through 1 million views. If they ever do. Because YouTube feels more like a battlefield. Competition is ruthless. Some people will literally clone your thumbnails. It's brutal out there. You're often faced with this visual cycle. Low views make you doubt yourself, motivation dips, and it becomes hard to stay consistent. You need to know what to double down on and which traps will keep you stuck for years. And that's exactly what I'll share today. And if you're serious about growing smarter and not slower, subscribe now, because every week I break down the behind the scenes lessons most creators never hear. The first thing I learned after hundreds of uploads is this: repetition isn't a bug of YouTube, it is the system. There's only so much you can say in any given topic and niche, especially when you're putting out lots of content. You're going to run out of topics. But here's the twist: the angles never run out. With Neil's channel, we'd cover the same digital marketing topics over and over again: SEO tips, social media hacks, Google algorithm updates, paid ads, copywriting, email marketing, you name it. It felt like we were just repeating ourselves. But viewers, they're not living inside your head. Most of them are new and they've never heard about the topics before. And even if they have, the way you package it, the story you wrap it in, that's what makes it feel fresh. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Repetition builds authority. New angles about the same old topics build novelty. That's how you scale. But here's how I kept myself from going insane with topic fatigue. I'd go outside of marketing: nutrition, plumbing, home renovation, architecture, IT, you name it. I would study how they package topics everyone already knew. Then I would adapt those titles back into our niche. And suddenly, ideas I thought were exhausted turned into bangers. I break down this exact process in another video, how to never run out of YouTube ideas. Check the link in the description when you're done here. The second thing I learned was this: chaos kills creators. I can tell you from experience that the grind is not what gets you results. In fact, the harder I pushed, the worse my videos became. I was brute forcing my way through this production process, and it was showing. The scripts felt stiff, thumbnails looked lifeless. My delivering the content piece was losing energy. On top of that, I was running our new SaaS business, back in the day, Uber Suggest, which meant I was getting Slack messages from engineers, UX designers, QA testers, and endless support tickets, all hitting me between tasks. So I would switch between tasks, start researching content in the morning, write scripts at lunch, answer Slack messages, design thumbnails at night. That was constant context switching. And every switch felt like starting from zero. The design brain, data brain, people manage brain, those are totally different gears. That chaos was killing my productivity until I started batching. Batching changed everything for me. I decided to write 5 scripts in a row. I decided to use one calendar block for team communications and meetings, or one entire day for thumbnails and another day for edit reviews. So that focused time created better work and was way less stressful for me. The other piece was blocking time. With 3 videos a week, if I didn't defend my calendar, the work was going to bleed into the weekends, nights, and family time. And Parkinson's law is real. Work expands to fill the time that you give it. And without boundaries, YouTube will eat your entire life. Trust me. I lost weekends, I lost sleep. But when I started blocking big chunks of time, I shipped faster and finally got my life back. Honestly, it's the only way you can survive long term at volume because systems, they don't make you robotic like people say. They make you consistent, right? And consistency is the only reason why I could produce 627 videos without collapsing. And if you want to grow on YouTube without burning out, subscribe. Every week, I break down the systems that let you scale without losing your mind. The third thing I learned is this: YouTube is not a straight line, it's more like a roller coaster. The faster you accept that, the less you will torture yourself. I lived through months of constant uploads mixed with emotional and mental struggle. We would publish nonstop and the numbers just flatlined sometimes. Views plateaued, new subscribers stalled, sometimes they even dropped, and it felt like nothing we did mattered. And then, out of nowhere, one video would explode. A single banger would lift the entire channel for weeks, sometimes months. It pulled more traffic to older videos, raised all the numbers, but it was never predictable. And when the spike faded, it felt like crashing back to earth. And that's when the doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe the topics suck. Maybe the thumbnails are terrible. Or maybe I've lost it. And that headspace kills creativity because you stop publishing and you start chasing perfection instead. Here's what I realize: plateaus are normal. Every channel goes through them. And the spikes, they're not accidents. They're the signals you've been looking for. They show you what you should double down on. They remind you why it's worth pushing for the next angle your audience will love. And your job is to learn with your spikes and valleys and stay consistent throughout the flat lines. So you're still standing when the breakout video hits. Because YouTube isn't about linear growth. It's about surviving the roller coaster long enough to catch the rides that change your trajectory. So if you're in that flat line right now, don't quit. The fourth thing I learned is this: some skills compound forever. They don't just grow a YouTube channel, they change your career. For me, writing was the ultimate meta skill. After hundreds of scripts, I wasn't just a better writer, I was a different person. I learned how to take scattered ideas and weave them into a story people wanted to follow. And that skill bled into everything else. As an executive, it made me a better communicator. As a leader, it helped me rally my teams around a shared vision. Even with shareholders and powerful people in the room, I didn't feel small because I could frame ideas in a way they respected and understood. And that confidence was built based on writing. So if you're serious about YouTube, invest in writing. It's not just a content skill, it's a life skill. And to me, the second meta skill was packaging. Titles and thumbnails, they're not just clickbait, they're positioning. Packaging taught me this: the best ideas, they need a wrapper that kind of sparks curiosity and makes people want to peek inside. Packaging teaches you how to make ideas irresistible. But here's the trap: packaging alone, it doesn't carry you. A flashy thumbnail might get you a click, but if the content doesn't deliver, people are still gonna go in 10 seconds or less. So packaging can get you attention once, but only great content makes people stay and come back. So yes, thumbnails matter, titles matter, but packaging without delivery is empty. The real skill is making both work together. And the last meta skill I learned by tripping into my own ego. See, I felt like I was building someone else's dream once I saw the channel being successful like it did. And oftentimes I would think, why not spend all that energy on my own channel, right? I was behind the scenes building something for another person who was showing their face. But here's what I didn't see back then when I was questioning myself. Being behind the scenes has its own advantages. I wasn't the face of the channel, and that's exactly what gave me the freedom to experiment, to learn, and to iterate. I had the freedom to test crazy ideas without tripping into my own ego. Freedom to study what worked and what didn't without worrying about how I looked on camera. And if you're like me and you're not the face yet of the channel you manage, Don't see it as a weakness. It's a sandbox. It's the perfect place to sharpen your craft. The videos, they come and go. The views, they rise and fall. But the skills, writing, packaging, learning from the shadows, those compounds, they make you dangerous far beyond YouTube. And if you want to build skills that actually last, subscribe, because every week I'm breaking down the lessons that compound, not just for YouTube, but for your whole career. The fifth thing that I learned is this: you don't scale alone. The right people make the difference between drowning in work and actually building something that lasts. For me, back in the day, my editor became my best friend in this process. Because at first, I spent hours fine tuning every edit, giving endless feedback. It was kind of exhausting. But the more we worked together, the more seamless it became. I started anticipating what I wanted before I even said it. That trust freed me up to focus on strategy, packaging, and bigger creative swings. Invest in your editor. The tighter your collaboration, the faster you scale, and the better your videos feel. Because leverage doesn't really come from working harder, it comes from people. The right partnerships, having the right team, will multiply your output without multiplying your hours. And YouTube might look like a solo creator game, and it can be for a while, but behind every channel that scales, there's always someone making it possible. And sure, in the beginning, you'll do it all yourself. You'll build the systems, the processes, and your own definition of what great looks like. But eventually, if you want YouTube to become part of your business or a full-time business, you will surround yourself with the right people, and you will be able to afford them through the earnings of the very platform that you're building together. And if you want to go far, don't go alone. So those are the 5 biggest lessons I learned after making 627 videos without AI. Lessons that saved me years and could save you too. But here's the truth: none of it matters if you run out of ideas. And that's where most creators hit a wall. So click here somewhere and I'll show you how to never run out of YouTube video ideas, no matter how much content you make. See you there.